We welcome you to another edition of Bad and Chattin. This is episode 50. Let's clap it up for everybody. Clap it up for us. Episode. Can you believe that, Dennis? Episode 50 of Bad and Chattin. That's amazing.
Wow, 50 weeks we've done this show.
50 weeks is crazy. And hopefully we'll
50
get
weeks.
Nicholas, which we should have talked about this before.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get him for a couple episodes here and there. So like I said, episode 50 of Bad and Chattin. Here in the Eastern Observer, alongside Denis Tuohy, I'm Brandon Natale. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube to be kept in on the loop on everything Eastern Observer, and most importantly, Bad and Chattin. So, show can be found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts can be found. Our show is presented to you by Black Cats NYC. Be sure to download one of the best hit singles, "Nothing Is Gonna Stop Us," which can be found wherever music is found, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM Satellite Radio, and many others. So yeah, episode 50. There you have it. If we ever get to 100, we should do like a special.
Yeah.
We definitely should. So like I said, hopefully we get Nicholas, who was one of the founding members of Battin and Chattin, who is hoping to come back and join with the. Well, I don't know about come back and join, but do some shows here and there. Because I was talking about some stuff for some streaming, and so I said to him like, hey, if you ever want to come back and do Battin and Chattin, or like do like a couple episodes, like hey, let me know.
Yeah.
So
That'd be fun. A reunion.
Yeah, man.
That and chat reunion.
Yeah, so it'd be really cool. But the Mets.
The Mets.
The Mets are in their grimace era. Spanked the Yankees.
Yeah.
One of the best things I ever
That's
saw.
why I'm not wearing a Yankees jersey today.
I wish I was at Citi Field by it, but I will be there eventually. But man, what a great the Mets are just like 16-4 recently. They've been on a good stretch. And am I just amazed by it? It's been fantastic. Ever since Lindor went in the leadoff spot, he's been electric. The rest of the order, Francisco Alvarez, he's hitting 300 now. He started the year, he was hitting 200, but then he raised his average up by like a ton.
It's been terrific.
Jose,
162 OPS plus. I'm just going off memory here. I don't have it in
Yeah.
front of me. I just wrote an article about it. So he's been terrific. Francisco Alvarez.
I knew when he went down, it was definitely going to affect the Mets.
Mm.
Tomas Nino did a decent job keeping it stable. Who he's now DFA'd, and he's now in the Cubs. But is Alvarez's presence, it's definitely well known. I think the past 17 or 23 games that Alvarez has played or started for the Mets, that they're 20-3. That's pretty remarkable. Alvarez, he hit his 30th home run in the second game of the Yankees series. He is, at the age of 22 years and 220 days old. He's the only catcher in MLB history to reach 30 career home runs at a younger age than Johnny Bench, who did it at 21, and Ivan Rodriguez, who did it at 22 years old and 213 days. So that's pretty, so when you're in a category of Johnny Bench and Ivan Rodriguez, that's remarkable. That's insane. People are already talking right now. The Mets should lock him up right now, like the Braves did with all these players.
Yeah, they should.
100%. Are you kidding me? He's great. Like, he's looked good. Just great power hitter, great contact. Coaches and players, a lot of the players, they rave about him. They love him. As a fan, I love him. He's great. I would consider getting his jersey. He's just been a great help for the Mets. And it's just been insane. So shout out to him. He's been amazing. Yeah, the Mets are 22-3 in the last 25 games that Alvarez has played in. Thank you to SNY Mets for that stat. And thank you to OPTA stats for the bench and the Rodriguez stat too. So it's been amazing. In the Grimace era, before he threw his first pitch, they were 28-37. Post pitch, they're now 10-2 with a 36-point run differential. Thank you to DraftKings for that stat. It's just been amazing. And I just love the offense. I think the Mets are not that known for having an electric offense, Dennis. I don't know if you've seen.
No, they're definitely not.
No, but
You know how I am. I always try to think like to the history of teams. They're not. They're not. They've always been a power pitching dependent franchise. Obviously, in the '80s, they had a deep lineup, and in the late '90s, early 2000s, it was kind of deep. But even then, like when they had Mike Piazza, did they have Carlos Delgado at that? I don't think they did.
no, they
He
got him
was
in
still
like
on the Blue
05,
Jays.
06. Yeah, that's when around
So
that
you
time.
still had like who else was on that team? Edgardo Alfonso,
Yeah,
John Olerud,
Robin
Robin
Ventura,
Ventura. Oh,
Todd Seal,
Jinx! Ah, you owe me a soda or a
Jinx Heavy
Coke.
Soda.
Remember the other night? That was funny. I thought that was hilarious.
uh,
We went out to a restaurant
the
and the
Croxley, yes,
lady,
the one
yeah,
famous
and
Croxleys.
the lady
Who
said,
else?
"Is Coke okay?" I said, "No." And she was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "No, I'm messing with you." But yeah.
What was I gonna say? But who else was on the Mets team around that time? Ventura. Mike Hampton was a pitcher in 2000.
Yeah, but he could rake. He could rake. One of the best offensive pitchers ever.
They
Mike
were good. Yeah,
Hampton.
they had a loaded team.
They're good guys.
That
They're
yeah,
good guys.
they were good. And so when they made the World Series that year in 2000, that was a good team. That was
Yeah.
the team deserving to make it.
Oh yeah, and they were fighting for years because after the '80s. I mean, we've talked about it in here in passing. After '88, the Mets they just fell apart.
Yeah,
They lost Darryl Strawberry not long after to the Dodgers. Dwight Gooden, obviously, the off-field stuff kind of started to catch up to him a bit. His numbers started to decline, so they're losing pitching there. They had to get rid of David Cohn for an incident. They got rid of Randy Myers. I don't know why, but he was a really good closer for them. Like they just started like getting rid of guys maybe too early. They lost Lenny Dykstra early to
yeah,
the Phillies rivals, and it was tough in the early '90s for them. And you know obviously the 2000s they're able to rebuild whatever. And I guess like this is kind of like a new age version of that where the Mets are.
coming
They had
about.
that
Yeah,
2015 that one World Series appearance. I think a lot of people forget that. Just because you make the World Series or the NBA Finals or whatever championship one year doesn't mean you're guaranteed the next year.
yeah. I feel like
It
people remember you most
doesn't
for
always
when you
happen.
win it. They don't remember you for when you make it.
Right.
They
And
remember the championships. Like a lot of people forget about the '73. I feel like with the Mets, not a lot of people
yeah,
talk
no,
about it.
you're right.
They were one game close to winning it. They were up 3-2 against Oakland, and then the issue was, I read about it. Tom Seaver wanted to close out the World Series for the Mets. He wanted to be the guy because he didn't do it in '69. So, and that's kind of what got them. They lost the next two games. He should, not to knock on Tom Seaver, but that's
A little
you know,
ego.
yeah. I mean, but I mean, hey, but so what I mean. A lot of people forget. They remember when you win. They don't remember when you lose. Like the Cavaliers in basketball. We only talk about the 2016 finals because they won it. We don't talk about the 15, 6, 17, 18 finals appearances, or
Yeah.
07 for the cat. You know what I mean? Like we
I
don't.
think people do talk about '07 a lot, but
I
in
feel
a
like
different kind of
yeah.
context.
I feel like people talk about the 2001 World Series for the Yankees because
Oh yeah, it was just so historic.
it was historic, and especially Derek Jeter's performance in Mr. November,
Yeah.
and I guess
It was
people
after
I guess
9/11.
people talk about the 2001 World Series, but I don't feel like a lot of people think about the '03.
No, they really don't. And I
They
think a
don't.
big
No, they
part of
don't.
that, the funny thing is, the big part of that is likely because of the Marlins. I mean, really think about all the great players of the 21st century. All the great players we've had that have spent the majority of their career in the 21st century, their entire career in the 21st century. If we're just sitting here, just spitballing names, Miguel Cabrera is easily a top 3 position player. Easily.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols you'll put ahead of him. On track, A-Rod you'd put ahead of him. Maybe you could say like, oh, Mike Trout might be on track. Ichiro might be better. I love Ichiro. He's my favorite player. But Miguel Cabrera won a ring, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah, people forget
Nobody
he won
talks
a ring.
about
No
Miguel
one talks
Cabrera
about that.
winning a
No,
ring.
people forget it. Yeah, no, I agree.
That's nuts. And he had moments. He hit a homer off of Roger Clemens in the World Series.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
He only retired last year too.
Yeah.
That's insane. Definitely first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh,
That's not even a
dude, he
question.
might be like near unanimous. He's the last Triple Crown winner.
Let's bring up his stats real quick for the viewers.
Oh God.
So no,
Miguel
people
Cabrera
do.
was, oh, dude, that's a lot of bold, brother. That's a
It's a
lot
lot
of
of
bold.
bold.
Back to
That's a lot
back
of bold.
MVPs.
It's good he got 3,000 hits too. I was very happy when he did
Dang.
that. I was very happy when he did that. I remember 2012. I remember when he won it. It was a big deal.
Yeah. People thought it should have gone to Trout in 12 or 13. I forgot which one. Because of the war thing. And that's kind of whatever. I remember seeing a hot take video. You know how I feel about Mike Trout. I'm sure he's a great guy and a nice hang, but the internet has just ruined his greatness for me.
Yeah.
I
Like,
saw a video from
yeah.
another YouTuber, and he said, "Give me all your hot takes about analytics." And somebody said, "WAR isn't a good stat, and Mike Trout dominates WAR because WAR was made for Mike Trout." And it's like a complete BS take.
Yeah.
It's factually inaccurate. But like it really is like you see the way he accumulates WAR and like other players. It's like, yeah, but he has a higher career WAR. It's like, okay, but this guy's a first baseman or a third baseman. Like different positions accrue it at a different rate. It's not a be all end all stat.
It's crazy how long he stayed in the league forever.
Oh
He
my
was.
god.
I'm just
Had a high
looking at
batting average to the cold bitter end.
his OPS plus is insane. Look at that 190. That's insane.
But Mike Trout should have won the MVP that year. Okay.
Supposedly.
Okay, whatever.
It's just
It was
insane.
12. It
His
was 12
slugging, his
that one.
OPS was insane. His slugging is on base. Like is on base. Anytime he hit 348, that's remarkable in my opinion.
He had a 169 OPS plus, didn't win MVP.
I feel bad because his
He's
stretch from like
11. Oh, he was injured. That's why.
his stretch from like 2011 maybe to like 2013. That was insane. Or maybe you can make the argument till 2015. I mean, but then again, he was hurt. Like
he had 7 top 5 MVP seasons. 7. Look at that.
But anyways, but no. So people do what?
Your Mets, man, they're looking good.
But either way,
they're looking good. This is a great season for them.
But people do remember the 2001 World Series because it was historic. You know, for a lot of reasons, and you know, but people don't talk about the 2003 World Series when it comes to the Yankees. But like I said, when it comes, you know, to the Mets and any team, like, or just in sports in general, people don't remember you for when you made it. They remember you from when you win it, you know? Like the 06 Mets. We don't talk about them. Why? Because they didn't win it. And when we do talk about it, we always talk about how it was such a disappointment that we didn't make it. If they made it, they definitely would have won it. There's been plenty of opportunities. I feel like sometimes in 2019, the Mets would have made a deep playoff run if they would have made it. Instead, it was the Nationals. You forget the 19 Mets, they were decent. They just blew a lot of games. Not to blame Edwin Diaz. He blew like 7 or 8 of them. Yeah. That would have took the National spot.
I always say, I've used it for other teams, just using the phrase Kurt Suzuki game. That walk-off grand slam he hit against 2 guys. Oh my gosh. You know, like how we have the Yankees and Mets classics that we watch on SNY or Yes Network?
Yeah.
If whatever Washington channel there is, that's got to be playing constantly. Because that's what started their season turning around. Like they were good. They were kind of frisky in games. That happened, and then they just exploded the rest of the year. Because they fought back. Weren't they down like I'm not trying to mess with you guys. 7-0 or 9-0 or something?
It was 11-4, I believe.
Oh.
But I believe, I don't know if I ever talked about it on the
most
show.
RBIs for a Hawaiian-born baseball player, my man, Kurt Suzuki.
I watched that. I watched that game. I watched that innings. Like I watched it all happen. I remember.
Mama, there goes that man.
Oh my God, Ottavino. I can't stomach Ottavino. I hope they trade him.
I hope so too. I was talking about this with my buddy Joe at work. Joe, I told you about him. He's a big Mets fan. Hi, Joe,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
listening.
yeah.
And your bullpen, I'm concerned about. I'm concerned the future of the Mets this season. I know Grimace time. I get it. I know. I've seen all the memes. I've seen all the jokes. I get it. The only thing is your starting pitching is not helping you whatsoever.
You know what?
I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm
No,
not
no,
trying to
no,
pee in
no.
your
You're good.
Cheerios.
No, I agree. It's the bullpen is not necessary. It's
I'm not the bullpen, the rotation.
bullpen, a little bit of
Because
rotation.
you guys beat our Yankees, but dude, you didn't make it easy.
At least not the first game.
Shomaniah had 5 walks.
He walks a lot of batters.
Oh my God. He walks everybody. He's a dog walker, this guy. He's a Manhattan dog walker. I mean, really.
I still like Shaman I, but
Oh, I'm not hating.
The walks have definitely been an issue, and I think I did say that too. He's had maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 bad starts, but for the most part, he's been a decent pitcher for the Mets.
He's been okay. But I'm just
It's
saying, like,
the bullpen is an issue when the rotation doesn't give him the support. So when you
Right.
have a pitcher that goes 7 innings, it helps them out. These
Right.
extra players get the rest, they get the
Right.
comfort, So it just sucks because most of the time the Mets pitchers only go into 5 innings. It's crazy. I hope I never see the day where you see a starter only last 3 innings. Like you got to go. You got to like. So my favorite is when I watch Severino because he's the only pitcher that's really lasting 6 or 7 innings.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not trying to throw stones from a glass house because we've seen it with the Yankees. Stroman can get out of the 5th today. And it's high pitch counts and stuff like that. Now your bullpen, they got to come in. And now everybody slides up. Now guys got to pitch 3-4 days in a row. Mike Tonkin at this point, oh my God, was his arm made of rubber? It's like every day they throw this Tonkin guy out there.
Poor him. I feel bad for him because he's been DFA'd twice by the Mets in the same year.
I don't feel bad for him at all because he's had like a 1 ERA since going to the Yankees. He's been a stud.
He's been good?
He's been, oh my gosh, he's been terrific. He's been arguably our best reliever, Clay Holmes included. So, like, I just, man, I don't know. I'm nervous moving forward because we've seen this plenty of times in baseball. Oh, man, who is it on the Yankees? I forget the name of the guy. Joe Torre ran him into the ground and completely ended his career. He used him so much. Was it Denis Tuohy or whatever? I could be wrong. Nagel, I forget. But it was somebody he just completely ran into the ground. And you see this happen, man, where guys, you need your bullpen to last you a full season. And the Mets at this, don't forget how many episodes ago were we talking about the Mets bullpen couldn't hold anything. So it's kind of shaky to begin with. If you're not going to get quality starts, wins are wins. I get it. They all count the same. I get it. But if you do need quality starts too, man. You need those quality starts and the win. That's what you really need. And I think the Mets have been having a hard time with that.
No, I agree.
Games, and you should be stoked. And Mark Vientos has been tremendous. 167.
He hit 2 home runs the other night. The first game of the series.
Yeah, he's been tremendous.
Keith Fernandez was talking about, and I remember I was telling you the other day. I was watching Evan and Tiki, and they had Gary Cohn on, and he was talking about how when they were talking about Vientos, I think it was Keith Fernandez or Ron Darling, one of the two. I believe it was Keith, who compared Vientos to Stanton. I guess in the terms of the frame. I know me and you were talking about that the other day because he's been hitting a lot of home runs, and he has the power. His power is remarkable. So I guess that's what makes them think of Stanton is the power that he has, and it's definitely great swing. I could see them having the same type swing,
similar stance, not the
similar
same.
stance. Yeah, I could
Where
see.
He has his head; it's the same.
No, I'm not going to say he's going to hit 50 home runs. That would be insane.
Oh, dude, he had 59 home runs for you guys. Ooh,
oh. Watch
Don't
out.
forget, 17 Stanton was a different breed.
I did see seven. I saw 17 Stanton. So I definitely think. So I'm not as concerned. They definitely need some depth. It sucks because Drew Smith is likely going to head for Tommy John, and it sucks because they were using him a lot. So now it sucks because we just found out today that he might be getting Tommy John. It's likely he's going to get a second opinion, but they said Tommy John is likely needed, and that sucks. I feel bad for the guy because I liked him when he was on the Mets, and it sucks because he thinks his career is done with the team. Oh my God, Ottavino, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, and the worst thing is this season is not the season to need pitching at the deadline. We've seen so many injuries that even if you were to acquire somebody, you don't really know what you're getting. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. So hopefully you guys continue winning games, but your pitching staff kind of picks it up a bit.
they're still
Because
also
your
waiting for
offense,
Senga.
I doubt your offense stays this hot,
They're still
getting
waiting
like
for
8
Senga.
runs a game.
I would say they bring up Scott again. They said they were going to bring him up after the London series, and we have yet to see him.
What happened with was it Budo?
Budo.
What happened with him?
I
He
think
had
they
good
sent him
stats.
down. He was good. I think
He
they
had good
sent him down.
stats. I don't know why they haven't brought him back up.
I would think here's what I would do. If I'm the Mets, you get Senga coming back now. I would say if I'm them, the rotation should be Senga, Severino, Quintana, Scott, and then Budo. 5-man. That's the 5-man rotation. It's great.
Minaya
It's
to the bullpen.
okay. Actually, no. All right, never mind. Because I mean, I would
Maybe
okay.
Budo to the bullpen.
Maybe Budo to the bullpen, and someone gets hurt, or you want to switch it up. Say you want Budo to play pitch instead of Manai. You there you go. Because then Budo would be the bullpen guy. It sucks because some of the pitchers. It sucks because they shouldn't have to go to the bullpen. They did it to Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo wouldn't. I remember seeing Seth Lugo pitch as a starter, but and they forced him into the bullpen, and he's been playing lights out for Kansas City. It's been insane.
Pay that man Juan Soto. 3-run homer. Yankees look dead in the water. 4-3, and in steps Aaron Judge.
Oh
The
boy.
big righty. On the lefty, you say Kikuchi. Attaboy Juan Soto. Attaboy Yankees. I never doubted you guys tonight. Not one bit. Ugh. Still 3 more innings. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Ottavino right now is trying to get out of a jam for the Mets.
Come on. Come on, Judge. Come on,
Oh
Judge.
shit.
Oh! What happened?
All right, good. No, never mind. I take that back. Forgive me for everybody.
What happened to Ottavino?
No, he got out of a jam. I got nervous. I thought that they almost hit a 3-run homer, the Astros. Excuse my French to the viewers out there. That did not happen.
Yeah.
But he got out of the jam, and it's 2-2. But so yeah, all right. So then they can't bring up Budo. So but I like Manaya, so no. And they need a lefty. They need at least one. Each rotation needs at least one lefty pitcher. So, but like I said, so I do believe sometimes. I know we left, but I do believe sometimes that if the Mets won enough games, they didn't blow the games they did in 19, they would have made a deep postseason run. They were a decent team that year. They didn't show it, but no, they did show it. The offense was insane. That's when Pete Alonso had his great rookie year. It sucks. David Wright
the juice
retired.
ball season.
Was that?
It was the juiced ball season where everybody was hitting home runs. Max Kepler looked like freaking Harmon Killebrew.
Jacob DeGrom
He's lucky to get 12 home runs. Max
Jacob
Kepler.
DeGrom had his second Cy Young.
Yeah, you guys had
So
a nice season.
they were decent to me in my opinion. They were a decent team, but the Nationals, I give credit to them. I give respect for them. So like I said, people know you. They know so people remember you from when you win. So like I said, but I like the Mets team right. I like them right now. It's crazy to think that they've gotten as far as they have, getting over. They're 39-39 right now as we speak. They're only one game behind the wild card spot. Who would have thought saying that? I thought they were dead in the waters. I know you. So I like the team right now. So, but I'm just definitely am concerned about the starting pitching because that bullpen is going to be gassed if the way they keep it up. The offense is insane. I don't think I've seen this electric of a Mets offense since maybe 2019. I don't know if I maybe say 22 or
I think this is better than 19. Unless, of course, I'm just being wild and I'm just not remembering it. I don't really remember you guys having too much on that team other than Alonso. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I could be wrong. I'll look it up right now. 2019 New York Mets. Yeah, when I said originally that they reminded me a bit of like the, like those older Met teams,
yeah.
is because you guys had, your team is developing after this World Series run 2015, and it takes time because then afterwards, this always happens with teams. They think that they have a bigger window than it turns out they actually did. And actually, maybe JD Davis hit 307 that year.
Yeah, and then
What?
McNeil was hitting over 300.
Yeah, McNeil. Wow,
That's when
318
he
for
started to
McNeil.
get more known. I remember when McNeil came up in 18, and it
OPS
was like at
plus.
the end of the year. That's when he was more well known, and that's like when he first came about. His number was like 68.
Dang,
He
Juan
had some weird number.
Lagares.
Juan Lagares. I think
He
he
was
got
horrible
DFA
that
that
year.
year too. That's when they had
He was
Rajay
horrible.
Davis. They had Carlos Gomez. Some odd
Carlos
reason.
Gomez. Yeah.
He was on the team for a little bit. He was
Oh
I
my
wish I actually would
god.
have kept him. He was a good depth piece. That's when the
Batting
Mets were getting
averages.
like players way out of their prime. Like remember the year before they got Jose Bautista?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when they were getting Adrian Gonzalez. Like that was around that time they were getting players that were a little outside of their prime.
I'll say.
So now I feel like it's kind of a little bit different now, maybe. But like they had Rajay Davis. What?
I didn't realize my guy Edwin Diaz was that bad that year.
What do you think I've been saying?
He had 26 saves and a 5.59 ERA.
What, like,
Jeez.
do you understand what I've been saying back then? What I've been
2-7.
saying about him? But I love him. I mean, he redeemed himself now, and I'll back him up now. Like, I'm not gonna give him any it's not been easy for the guy getting off an injury, coming back now with the sticky stuff situation.
Your bullpen was horrible that year. Oh my god. Jesus. No, he still should have been closing games for you guys. The rest of everybody else sucked. Chris Flexen 6.59, Hector Santiago 6.75, Tyler Bachelor in 24 games 6.95, Walker Lockett 8.34, Drew Gagnon 8.37. Oof. Corey Oswalt 12.15.
I remember Corey Oswald.
Dang, man, he had 7 games, two games. I'm guessing he's the son of. No, I guess not. I guess he's not related to Roy.
Who's that?
I guess he's not related to Roy. Because usually they have like I don't know. Whatever.
But no, yeah. So anyways. So
No panic. Dang, you guys. Batting
yeah.
averages have really changed over the last 5-6 years. Oh my god.
But yeah, they have,
Ramos was good too.
they had Todd Frazier. That too.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you
Nice
that
team.
19 people sleep on that 2019 Mets team. It sucks that they didn't make a run. That was in my opinion, that was a magical team, and I wish they would have. That team to me deserved a playoff appearance, and it sucks.
Glaber back off the bench. 2-run blast.
Really? Okay. But we'll talk about Glaber
7-3.
later. But no, so yeah, like I said, so with the Mets, obviously, like I said, the issue with them, the bullpen, the starting pitcher needs to at least help the bullpen. I would say they would acquire a piece. Maybe they said they would trade a piece. Like say they wanted to get rid of Quintana, or maybe McGill, or maybe Manaya, or maybe even Severino. They would still compete.
I don't think they would if they got rid of Luis Severino. Do you want me to be honest with you? Brutally honest?
You've been brutally honest to me for the past,
I think their most movable asset and one who they compete the most without is Pete Alonso.
What?
Because I think the return you would get would be high enough that those kind of, because they don't need a massive overhaul. They really don't. We know that. That kind of work of decent quality everyday players that aren't going to wow you, but are just going to add depth, or bullpen pieces, or like a decent 4 or 5 rotation guy that you would get for Pete Alonso. That's actually what I think you could get the most of. First base, I don't know if the Mets have anybody in their pipeline who could play first or is experienced with it. So maybe I'm talking out of my rear end. Always a possibility with me.
I think they're waiting on.
I just don't know. Here's the thing. The free agent class for first baseman is horrifically bad. Like Paul Goldschmidt has dropped off tremendously. They're not going to try to sign him. Wilmer Flores has been unplayable this year. Rizzo, I know we're not talking about the Yankees yet, but is Rizzo going to retire after this year? That's a possibility. I could see that. I think Rhys Hoskins might have an opt-out or a mutual opt-out or something. He's been hitting the cover off the ball. But aside from him, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I think that they might look at it the same way I am and say, listen, he's going to be who gives us the biggest return, and we still can sign him in the offseason just because where else is he going to go?
That would definitely be a big shock to the MLB world. If
It would be. And I hope that they would kind of do what the Yankees said with the Aroldis Chapman, which is, hey, can we at least give you, would we be in play if we did this? Next year will be, they've said next year is the real year they're going to try to win. Would that be a move for you? Now, you know how I feel. I've been saying it since last year that when we first started the show, that I wanted them to re-sign Pete Alonso and have a career at Met and everything like that. However, if they didn't re-sign him at this point, if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. You know? If you didn't re-sign him at this point, then what do I care? But I think he's movable because I don't know how much McNeil he's getting. I mean, you're paying him money. It's not like he's on a cheap deal. He hasn't been good this season, so I don't know what that return is going to be.
I feel like if you're going to trade McNeil, they should get at least
really,
some bullpen help.
Yeah. Do you really think you're going to trade away J.D. Martinez and still win games? I don't think you can. I think he's too valuable.
Oh, yeah. I think
if with Starlin
you know,
Marte, he's been good for you guys this year.
He's on the IL right now, but hopefully when he comes back, he'll still be electric. If they're going to trade McNeil or some players, you would hope they should try to get some, not just starting, but definitely some bullpen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair, especially with how many injuries we've seen with starting pitchers this year. I can't even tell you. Like last year, I was saying maybe you get this guy, maybe you get that guy. I don't even know who you can get. Because teams, they're just running guys through the ground. Patrick Sandoval is going to be out till 2026 from the Angels. That's a guy that I could have thrown out there and said, maybe you get him. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Blackburn from the A's, is he still okay? What's he up to these days? Cal Quantrill from the Rockies, he's been decent. I don't know. If I'm the Rockies, I'm never trading a starting pitcher who's having a decent season for me because it never happens, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Sonny Gray. The Cardinals, they're not going to give up. They should, but they're not.
Not even Kyle Gibson.
If I was the Cardinals, I'm trading Nolan Arenado. I'm trading Paul Goldschmidt. I'm trading Lance Lynn. I'm trading Sonny Gray. Maybe not Lance Lynn because I don't know what their turn's going to be, but yeah. I don't know what you guys can get. But I like your lineup.
I do too. And like I said, to me, it's not a hitter on the team I'm not afraid of. You know, even
that's fair.
You know, like Tyron Taylor. I love Tyron Taylor. Like, you know, I think he's a great fielder, and I think he's a decent hitter.
Yeah, given an opportunity, sure.
Like I said, start a lineup. It's been electric. Lindor, and then we'll move on to the Yankees after this.
Sure.
Lindor has been electric ever since going to the leadoff spot. Who would have known that's just what needed to happen? Then you got Nimmo. Nimmo's been playing great too. He's been fire. He's been playing electric. And then you got either Martinez or Alonso coming up. And then what's the next? And then I believe they have Taylor and then McNeil. Oh, Altuve. Oh, wow. Oh, that was a nice play by McNeil. I would say if they still keep McNeil, and then we'll move on. I would say, because he's been with the Mets for a while. So if say injuries happen, you're going to need players.
Yeah, and he could play just about everywhere. Like, I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just saying that.
So, like I said, I've been saying to people, like, they should trade him. But if they don't, it would not be the end of the world. Because, like I said, injuries happen all the time. And he is a great guy. From what I mean, and he has been like a contributor to the Mets.
Well, I mean,
so if they do go anywhere, like he would be like a good guy to be like, hey, like he stood around for all the bad. And like I said, injuries happen, so you need someone to come around and play. You could plug him right in. But what I love is that they don't play him out of position. They keep him in the infield. I hate seeing him in the outfield. I hate seeing out of position players, except maybe Mookie Betts. Maybe Mookie Betts.
Mm-hmm.
But Jeff McNeil, he's not an outfielder. I hate it when they did that last year. All the times. Keep him at second base. It's always my problem. And that's that. But the Yankees.
Last thing I have on the Mets, just real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
About their lineup. And it's not negative for once. You look at the Diamondbacks lineup from last year. You look at this Mets lineup. Peak for peak. Is that Diamondbacks lineup really better than the Mets? No, I don't think so. They made the World Series. So, I mean, like the Mets, like the lineup is there. I'm not even thrilled about the idea of touching it, to be honest with you. Good, bad, or indifferent. Unless, of course, you get like a real good deal that you can't pass up on. I'm mostly concerned about the pitching. I want a quality starter, and I want better bullpen pieces.
Yeah.
You just need to refresh the bullpen. I'm not sure if there's even like good free agents to like test out. Like, I don't know. But I think you guys are overall in a good spot because I think you guys could outlast the other teams.
So far, they've been doing it. The Cubs series was big. It was that Cubs series taking 2 out of 3. That was big.
Jesus, IKF home runs in back-to-back nights.
But
pissed off he got traded from the Yankees. I don't know.
Derek Bell was an Astro and a Met. Mike Scott. Oh wow. Oh yeah, he was a Met. Mike Scott. He sort of. I remember watching. He started his career with the Mets, and then he almost destroyed the. If I remember, they said it in the documentary "Once Upon a Time in Queens." They said if they played Mike Scott in Game 7, that would have been it. They would have made it because Mike Scott was dominating them in that '86 postseason. But yeah, so Yankees, man, I feel bad because Rizzo's been out. He fractured a forearm. Forearm, right?
Yeah, I think he's done.
That sucks.
I think he'll play again this season. Don't get me wrong.
You don't think he's going to be the same?
He was bad this season before he got hurt. What a play by DJ LeMahieu at third. Holy Toledo. Is that DJ LeMahieu or is that Greg Nettles? Who made that play? Who is Craig Nettles? I'm sorry.
I feel bad for Stan because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like every year he's at least battling something.
Yeah. But, dude, when he's on, he can carry a lineup.
Do you feel like that's definitely impacted the lineup a little bit in the slightest, these injuries?
Oh, definitely. Listen, I don't think they're the reason why they lost to the Mets, the lineup. They're not. They're just not. If you're going to show up and you're down 8 runs, what are you going to do? Like the night that we saw them, we hung out for what, the first inning or two?
First couple innings, yeah.
Yeah, and then we left. We went our separate ways, whatever. I drove home. I listened to Van Halen. I hung out.
There you go.
And then you guys absolutely obliterated us. And it was hilarious that a rain delay happened for like 2 hours or whatever. Anyway, that game, I can't even wrap my head around. Because We were down big early, yet again. There was the massive rain delay happened. Sean and I didn't look good in it. So who knows? Maybe if you play that game straight, maybe we do come back or something like that. I don't know. We're down big.
To the solo home run. Shout out to Pete Alonso.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
3-2
All right,
Mets
he
over the
heard me.
Astros.
He heard me.
I keep going.
So who knows? Maybe you come back, whatever. Whatever happened there, we move on. It was a terrible game. It was no good, very bad. It was unwatchable.
For you guys, I was enjoying every moment.
Just from the
Actually,
Yankees'
good birthday
perspective.
gift for me too. That was,
Just from the Yankees' perspective, it was so bad. I remember saying it was so bad. I threw on the WNBA game. I watched Washington Mystics versus Connecticut Suns. Oh, and it was a barn burner of a game, overtime, the whole nine. It was great. The Suns won, but I don't know, man. Like this lineup right now, they're down to the Blue Jays early yet again. We're down 3-0, or 3-1 in the fifth inning. And then the top of the sixth, we come back and we say, all right, hold my beer and let me drop 7 runs on you or 6 runs, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So like, it's not the lineup that's the problem. It's the starting pitching.
Yeah,
the
Luis
bullpen's
Gil,
not bad either.
I think
Luis Gil is falling off a cliff.
He was having a couple bad starts beforehand. Am I correct? Right?
Oh, dude, he didn't have a couple of bad starts before that. He was horrible in like his last 3 starts.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like his last 3. So
I think he needs to be skipped a rotation and then got back. I think he's taxed. Because if you watch him play, and this was always kind of a concern with him, and not one ever really said on here, because I mean, as pretentious and perhaps tool bag-esque as it is, anytime you ask me about the Yankees this season, I just said, yeah, whatever, we keep winning. Now we're not. So it is a little fair weather, but it wasn't like he was cruising through games and complete game and like 110 pitches. There's like 110 pitches in the 6th inning. Same thing with Carlos Rodon. Like these guys, they just can't have a quick inning. So I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I don't know how sustainable it is. And the same thing I was saying with you guys, I got to say with us, who are we going to get? At the deadline, I keep hearing people say, like, maybe we get a starter. Well, are we going to get a good starter? Are we going to give up something for him? Can we get Drew Thorpe back? He's been horrible for the White Sox. That was the main piece that went in the Soto trade. He's been unplayably bad. That's kind of one of the problems with them expanding the playoffs is now all these teams are close in that. Am I really going to be a seller or not? Maybe I sneak into the playoffs. Maybe other teams bottom out because we see that happen more times in baseball than other sports just because of the way it's structured. I don't know. Like, I honestly don't even know who the Yankees could target. It's the same thing I said with you guys. Like the Cubs are kind of falling apart. They're 3rd to worst in the National League. They're still 4 games out of the wild card. So it's not like I can just sit here and say, well, the Cubs are really bad this season. So can we try to get Justin Steele? It's like, no. They're still good.
Still in it.
Yeah. Like the Marlins are really bad. Like, I don't know if I'm the Marlins, I'm wearing a Marlins jersey. If I'm the Marlins, I'm not trading Luzardo or any of those other guys I have on my team. Because what are we doing? Keep trading off our best players and getting absolutely nothing in return for it. But I don't know. Is AJ Puck still starting for them? No. Thank God. I don't know why he ever wanted to become a starter. I honestly feel like they tried him out as a starter just so they could tell him, and now let us do our job and never mention this ever again. Tanner Scott, maybe? for like a bullpen piece, but the Yankees bullpen is good. Starting pitching. The Marlins have two guys on ESPN.com with the starting pitcher position moniker. Roddery Munoz, 5.80 ERA. Thanks, Rod. And Trevor Rogers, 4.87. Thanks, Trev. Where's Luzardo? Is he on the IL? Did I miss something? Could you imagine he got traded already and I'm just like ranting like a lunatic? I don't know. So even the bad teams don't have starters to pluck from. The White Sox, like, who are you going to get from there? Kopech? Yikes. I don't love that either.
Which is why it's good that the Mets are, not to bring up the Mets again, but the reason why, say, because that's a team, if you wanted to get a player, Mets have all the pieces, but the pieces are now coming together. It's like, unless they start losing, going on a losing streak, who knows? But they have the players you want to trade for. You want a starting pitcher, they have one. You want a DH or you want a premium first baseman, they have it. You know what I mean? But like we always said, a lot of the teams they're all competitive. Not everyone's out yet, so it's like, no one's really going to want to budge or give in because no one's ready to say, if they're ready to throw in the towel.
I'm looking at the Blue Jays because they've been disappointing this season. Would the Blue Jays trade in division? Maybe they'll trade Barrios to you guys, Jose Barrios, but
That'd be cool.
I'm
Contract.
not
I know he has a big contract.
Unfortunately, the Yankees, I don't think a cavalry is going to be coming. That's kind of the crux of my argument. So if our lineup can stay the way it's been, this is the biggest difference between the Yankees teams since 2019. I guess 2020 if you want to count the short season, which is our lineup has had to be carried when Judge isn't playing. Judge is playing now, but now that we have injuries in our rotation, our bullpen has been better at times, but still kind of shaky, Now our lineup can actually carry the team and still keep us competitive in games, even if we're not winning. So that's that. Do you want to talk about baseball around the league?
What's your thoughts quick on Gleyber Torres? I feel like he's been very up and down with the Yankees fan base.
I hate the effort.
Talked about him before.
I hate the effort or the lack thereof he puts in. However, for all the old Yankee fans, as much as you don't like it, it's not much different than what you're seeing around the league. He's not alone.
Oh, he's wow. Not alone.
He's not.
Look at Jeff McNeil. What did we just talk about? Jeff McNeil, baby.
He had a home run?
3-run homer. Good for the guy.
Oh, okay. I like Jeff McNeil.
What I say? I said, look, I would trade him, but like I said, he would be a good player to keep around because players' injuries happen.
Yeah.
You need a guy, you can plug him right in, and he's been there with the Mets through thick and thin. He just showed it right there. Credit to Jeff McNeil. Good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah. I think that we still, I don't know if we have to re-sign Gleyber Torres, but I think we should consider it. I know offensively, even those numbers aren't the best, although he had a big home run tonight. He's better than a lot of other second basemen in the league. So you don't have to be people forget this in sports and in life or whatever. You don't have to be the best player in the world. You don't have to be the best at something. You just got to be better than the guy next to you.
Yeah.
Now, this season, he's been pretty bad. OPS plus 78, 215 batting average. Rough year. And Gleyber Torres. Okay. We're done with the Mets.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Jeff McNeil. I could care less now.
Sorry.
No, if something comes up or you want to chime in, go ahead. But
no,
I'm tunnel vision on Gleyber.
Damn, 78 OP plus. That's crazy.
Not good. Not good.
Even Sadie Grace agrees with me downstairs. She's hearing.
Sadie, well, what do you got from us? Sadie from Seaford joining us. What do you got?
She's saying Glaber needs to get traded.
Yeah, that in her subtitles. He's a bum. He's
He was an
trash.
all-star for you
Nothing
guys
to
in
do with
18
him.
and 19. Was he? It's crazy.
He was good.
He was.
Really good.
Oh
Really
yeah, he
good.
was. He was 38 homers.
He was really good.
He was really good. Yeah, I could see. Okay, I could see it. He was really good. Yeah,
He
I
was
could
like
see it.
spectacular.
He's been very up. His average has been very up and down. I mean, we hit 273 last year. That's not bad actually.
This year has been
273 for
bad.
Glaber. That's not, I mean, but this year it's a way different ball game.
Yeah, like I don't know. With the Yankees, maybe with JD Davis on the roster, would you trade Glaber, move DJ to second, JD Davis to third?
I was worried JD Davis was gonna have like a breakout type game for against the Mets. I was waiting for it.
Even if he did, it wouldn't have done anything.
I liked the trade. When you guys made, I heard he was coming to the Yankees. I was like, that's a good trade. You know, I love JD Davis when he was on the Mets. So when I heard you guys traded for him, I was like, okay, well, this is a great trade. You know. So it's definitely
Yeah,
different.
I don't know what to do with Glaber. Peraza has been bad as well, though. Peraza has been bad in the minor leagues.
I'm not trying to hate on the Yankees too much, but I'm not trying to, you know, as much as the Mets fan I am, you know, I'm not trying to hate on them. No, I hate. I got to criticize them. You know, we're podcasters. What we do. I hope this is not the same type of stuff year in and year out where they have to rely on Judge. You know, but now they also have to rely on Judge and Soto. You know, so he's not alone.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. I don't know if they're just I don't know if they're just in slumps. Some of the players.
I honestly, the lineup I could care less about.
It's more the pitching.
Yeah.
It's more the pitching.
Volpe is still really good. How many shortstops are you taking
has
over
been
Volpe?
good. No, Volpe has been really good.
Not a lot.
I still like Verdugo. Verdugo is still a great player.
He's still pretty good. Like he's
now
not
that I think of it,
I
guess I kind of see it. It's more the pitch. It's more the pitching, if anything.
As we
the pitching is going to affect. You know, was that?
As we give up another home run, 7-5. Great.
I see what you mean. The pitching is going to affect how the lineup determine how the lineup is going to be. I see that.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. takes his sweet time around the bases. Good for him. What happened there? You know, not for nothing. This isn't the first time I've said this. For all the flash that the Blue Jays have, you know, like he just kind of danced around the bases there, Vlad Guerrero Jr. He watches it as it goes. He doesn't get out of the batter's box. He throws the bat. He does the whole song and dance. So you guys are last place in the division. Like this is kind of like the Brian Windhorst, Luka Doncic. The winners are in that tunnel, and you're not in the winner tunnel for a reason.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. But can you stop? Do they ever think that maybe this is why people don't like them?
But anything else on the Yankees?
Not really. Like Glaber, I don't know what they do. I don't know if you can get a good second baseman in the offseason because LeMahieu can't be your future. I don't care about the freaking bat flip. Stop showing me the bat flip. Why did he stop moving at shortstop and then continue? Why did he stop for 3 seconds and then continue? I don't care about the bat flip. It was great. It was great. It was great. It was great. Tim Anderson had a bat flip. Woohoo! Yeah. Jose Bautista had a bat flip. Do you remember when Alex Bregman held the baseball bat in the 2019 World Series and then Juan Soto did the same thing? Great. They're cool. They're all the same. They're all the same, bro. They're all the same.
You know what, Dennis? No, I want to see a million bat flips as much as I want, as
I'm not one
much
of those,
as possible.
Get off my lawn.
Much as possible.
Get off my lawn. I can't believe people flip bats now. I just don't care. It's like when somebody in the NBA dunks around the guy and like, oh, he put him on a poster. No, he didn't. A poster is when Tom Chambers put his knee on Mark Jackson and dunked it on him. A poster is when Sean Kemp slammed it on Alton Lister and then pointed at him.
When
That's a poster.
DeAndre Jordan did it on Brandon Knight.
Yeah, that's a poster. Just kind of moving around the guy and getting a dunk off. Oh, I don't care. It's like the bat flips when your team is down by 2 runs and you're one of the most disappointing teams in the league and you've been through more managers in the last couple of years than my freaking Target store. That's like when the defense in the NFL gets the interception and then they all do this in the end zone. They all do that horse crap.
They do, yeah. No, they do. Yeah, no.
Holding the guy.
No, that's like when.
And they're down by 30. Who cares?
That's like that's like when.
Who cares?
You know what they made me think of? That's when like they quarterback overthrows the receiver, and then you see the defensive back or the cornerback safety. Yeah! They're waving they're waving like they deflected it. Like, no, you didn't. I hate it. I remember Kyle Wilson did that a while ago on the Jets. I remember I was like,
want to hear a hot take?
Go ahead.
NFL players are not 1/18th as cool as they think they are when they're actually playing the game.
Say again?
You heard me.
NBA players?
Oh, that's where the confusion comes from. NFL players are not nearly as cool. Not 1/18th as cool as they think they are during games.
Someone was saying this the other day. I actually had this conversation.
Stupid antics that they do. And it's never cool. It's never funny. It's never good. Oh, and remember when Ezekiel Elliott went to the Salvation Army pot? Oh my God. Do you think the Cowboys are going to do that again on Thanksgiving? Nobody cares.
Damn, this is some type of energy. This is like that Don LaGreco type energy I'm seeing right now. Dennis.
I don't care. You don't care. Nobody cares.
There's definitely some fun antics in baseball, though.
Don't even care. And well, that's the other thing. Like, I remember when people were mad that Tony La Russa, this was an actual thing I was seeing people talk about, and it made me want to slice my face off and put my face on a watermelon. Okay, I don't know where I was going with that, but remember when Tony La Russa got hired for the White Sox?
Yes.
And people were saying, how is he going to handle the modern day of baseball? Where there's bat flips and there's character. It's guys, have you ever seen Ricky Henderson play? His bat flips? You want to talk about like disrespect? Dude, he managed Jose Canseco, who was late to games because he was banging Madonna. Oh, sorry. You know. Oh, watch out. Watch out. Joey Gallo flipped the bat. All of a sudden, Tony La Russa's like, you know what? 100 miles an hour, Dylan Cease right to his head. No. Like, I get it. Have fun. Do your thing.
Yeah.
You don't need to show me the replay 800 times. That's my whole thesis. Don't got to show me the replay of it. Don't got to show me the replay in the NFL. Oh, guys, the whole defense is going to the end zone. Show it. Oh, I got a sack. Same thing every time. They're all the same, dude.
I'm just looking at Ricky Henderson's stats.
Ridiculous. One of the best players ever.
100%. I would want him as like I would definitely
top
want him.
10, top 15 player to ever play the game. In his own words, to quote him, I am the greatest of all time. He was a beast.
I'm just looking at his stats now.
I don't care.
That's insane. Imagine having a player. Before we get back to Don LaGreco rant. Imagine having a player. Yeah, I gotta cool you down for a little bit. Cool down. Imagine having a player. 130 stolen bases. That's freaking insane. Yeah. In 1982, imagine having a player play from 1970 to 2003. He literally played like 4 decades of baseball, essentially 70s, 80s,
Vince Carter
90s,
baseball.
2000s. You know how insane that is?
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's
Oh, dude,
ridiculous.
he's awesome. He's on the Yankees for a while, kind
He
of
was a
like a
Met
forgotten
too.
Yankee
Crazy,
great.
crazy. He was a Met. Think of it.
Yeah,
He was decent. He batted like 315. He was pretty good.
Ricky Henderson stories are great too.
He batted like 315 when he was on the Mets in '99.
This is a weird story. Like it's a fake story. Like it's been proven. Like he said, like that's not true. But supposedly John Olerud was his teammate in Toronto and on the Mets. And supposedly he said to John Olerud, because John Olerud used to wear the helmet in the field. Supposedly he said to him, that's kind of weird, but I actually played with a guy that once did that. It's the same guy, not knowing it, but he said that one wasn't true. But he didn't deposit his first $1 million check because he wanted to keep it framed as his first $1 million check as a keepsake. So he never deposited it. And the A's had to tell him, like, dude, you actually got to deposit this because now our books are wrong.
My God.
That's a true story.
Really?
And he confirmed it. Yeah. He's a character, man. He's a character. Spoken third person. Ricky's fast. Ricky steals bases.
Sounds pretty interesting.
Oh, yes, he is. Love that dude.
But anyways, go back to your quick.
Oh, yeah. I'm just, it's the production of games that sets me off. Oh, my God. And the Yankees production is usually great. I don't need to see a bat flip 800 times. Oh, do you think they took exception to that? Whoa. Are they going to throw at him his next time? Hold on. This should be an interesting at bat. Now, the last time Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was up to the plate, this is what he did. I wonder if there's going to be retaliation. I don't think anybody's going to care. I like Marcus Stroman. He pitched horribly this game. Now that the Yankees are coming back and his team is getting it done for him, he's cheering them on the loudest. He's dapping them up when they get back. I like Marcus Stroman. He's a good teammate.
Good for you. Good for you. You can keep him.
Hey, so MLB around outside of New York, huh? Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that real quick.
I have no idea what the last 10 minutes of my life was, to be honest.
Hey, it's okay.
Phillies placed Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber on 10-day IL. Oh, the day after he gets named an All-Star. First baseman Bryce Harper and designated hitter Kyle Schwarber on the 10-day IL list after both were hurt in Thursday's 7-4 loss to Miami. Harper strained his left hamstring running the bases in the 9th inning, and Schwarber strained his left groin making a throw from left field in the 8th. Bumped to go on the IL, Harper said. Never want that to happen, obviously, but it was the best decision for our team. Hopefully we get back in the smartest way possible and the quickest way as well. All right, man. Good luck and Godspeed. Love Bryce Harper. You know that.
Yeah, that sucked. That's a big blow for the Phillies.
Yep. Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper were the top 2 vote getters in Major League Baseball for the American and National League.
I saw they both got over 3 million.
That's a lot. Do you know how many 3 million people are? Could you imagine if all those people that voted for Bryce Harper also watched our show? Wow.
I believe it.
Javier Assad of the Chicago Cubs, who's been pretty good this year, going on a 15-day IL with a forearm injury. Nats are planning to call up their prospect, James Wood, age 21, who was acquired in the Juan Soto to the Padres deal. He's the 3rd-ranked prospect in Major League Baseball. 6'7", 235 pounds. Mama, get this guy as a power forward. The outfielder has shown impressive power in the minors. I'll bet. But I'll tell you this, I'm very excited. Davey Martinez, the manager of the Nationals, said, when he does get here, he's an outstanding kid. I'm looking forward to working with him. He's batting .346 in the minors. Sheesh. Big man.
Sheesh.
Those are the top end lines for today. I'm trying to think. Do you want to talk about the Edwin Diaz thing? Did we talk about that last time, or did that happen?
It just happened. It kind of happened last Sunday.
So you want to talk about it?
Talking about it quick. I
don't really have an opinion on it anymore.
I think it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hey, it's 10 games, just regular suspension, and that's it. You know, he didn't try to fight it or anything. He was just like, hey, you know what, whatever. he said he didn't have they umpire. He's done it before. The umpires never gave him a problem. They didn't even give him an opportunity to wash his hands. Anytime a Clark Smith could go wash his hands,
Oh,
but
Brandon.
Diaz can't automatically right there. And then come on, you got to admit there
Listen,
right then. Come on. Also, I'm gonna go on Donald Greco rant like you just did a minute ago.
go ahead.
Come
Get it
on.
off your chest. Even
So
if I
it
disagree
sucks
with
because
you.
Diaz has not had the best. It's been a rough go around season for Diaz. Being injured, blown, a couple blown games, trying to get back on track, and then now this was not what they needed, especially in a game like tonight, especially when the bullpen is, you know, uh, been in dire straits for the Mets, especially you need a closer to win games, and so he's the closer. So I don't know. I thought it was a little. I would at least let him wash his hands, but hey, you know what? I don't know. They suspected something. I just wish they would have gave Diaz more of a fair shot to kind of prove himself, but they didn't. So hey, it is what it is. But that's my thoughts on it.
This is where I become hater D train. I don't know. I'd call the last 15 minutes. If that's not hating, I don't know what is. But are they allowed to wash their hands?
Yeah, Max
The
Scherzer
Clark
did it.
Schmidt, the Clark Schmidt thing happened a year ago.
Maybe they changed it now this year.
That's what I'm saying.
They might have
Is
changed
I
it.
keep seeing people bring that up, but the NFL, NBA, NHL, we all know they target rules. Not even close. Glaber, why would you have gone? Glaber, why would you have gone? You were out by 15 feet, bro. I was closer to home plate in Toronto than you were. Oh, they counted it? Did they say he was safe? Oh, because he blocked the bag. He blocked the base. He blocked the base. Danny Jansen, you cheater, pumpkin eater. You can't block the base anymore. He thinks we're playing Tony La Russa baseball. He thinks we're playing Ricky Henderson baseball. Danny Jansen, you pumpkin eater. Listen, I don't know if you can wash your hands anymore. Maybe they targeted the rule differently now.
Are
Maybe
they
it was
always
like an
changing rules
internal
in
thing.
baseball like that? I feel like they're always
Maybe
changing up the rules like that.
changing the way it's enforced. I don't know. I can say this though. Looking at Edwin Diaz's hand, guilty.
Okay.
Come on. He looked like a little pig pen from the Peanuts.
I don't know.
His hand was filthy.
Hey, look, like I said,
He
it is what
looked
it
like he
is.
was playing in the mud. He looked like he was
No,
digging ditches with that hand.
hey, look, it is what it is. Hey, I mean, umpires didn't like what they saw. I just hope it's not a target on the Mets. The umpires, they didn't like what they saw, but it is what it is. Just he's going to serve the 10 games. They'll come back. Hopefully, he'll be better than ever. He was playing better when he came back. They haven't really had the opportunity to use him because the offense has been electric. It hasn't been like many save opportunities. So we'll see. But before we wrap up the show, I want to talk about some of the playoff standings. Let's take a look at the National League. Let me see if I can pull it up. I like the standings, just where they are. Baseball. Let's see. Let's see. Give me 1 second.
It's under review. If this stands 9-5 Yankees in the 8th inning, whoa. Oh, what? We're in second place now? They have to get the Yankees. That's what it's about.
That's crazy. Wow. Well, I think it's kind of tied. I think now it's kind of like split. But the Orioles would, if today the season ended. You look at the National League. Look at the Mets.
He didn't even tag him square. What is this guy doing?
The Nationals not that bad of a team. It's crazy. The teams
Pretty
that
good.
the Mets have played decently fair against. They swept the Nationals before they went to London.
What do
They
you
almost
got?
swept the Cubs, and
Oh,
then
he was
Padres.
sick.
They swept the
He-
Padres.
Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Gleyber Torres on the replay, he was safe. They took the run away. Now I thought it was because Danny Jansen blocked the plate, is what they were calling, because he totally did. They took the run away. He was safe. That's horse crap. That's a conspiracy.
What you gonna do?
That's a conspiracy. They should have let Gleyber Torres wash his hands, and he would have been safe.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the team, excluding the Mets, outside of the playoff picture right now that you have the most faith in to make the postseason? That's a good question.
No, that's a very good question. Let me take a look. To make the postseason,
To make the postseason.
it's kind of tough. I definitely the Braves have. I feel like the Braves definitely never count them out. I like the Padres right now. I don't know why. Like I've been seeing them play. They're not. The Mets swept them. They had a bad offensive stretch when they came to Citi Field.
They're in the wild card. Those are the first two teams in the wild card.
St.
So
Louis.
they would be in the playoffs.
It's St. Louis and the Padres and the Braves.
Right.
It's the Cardinals, Dennis. I know the Cardinals are not exactly your favorite team, but they're right there and then too.
Astros 8-2 over their last 10. They had the pedigree for it. I think I might have to go with the Astros.
The Astros,
Red Sox have
they've
been good
been on
too.
tear.
I work with a kid who's from Boston originally.
I think it's crazy how much of a tear the Astros have been. I remember when beginning of the year they did not have a great start, and now it's crazy how much they turned the season around. I know tonight they're not looking so hot against the Mets, but the Mets have also been hot, which we've talked about a lot, plenty. But the Astros, yeah, I mean, it was making everybody happy too. But the Astros, they've been on a tear, and I know they swept the Orioles actually last week. So the Astros, can't count the Astros out.
No, you can't. You got anything else?
No, I think that basically wraps it up. I'm excited to see what goes on in the next couple of weeks. Say shout out to my family. I had a great birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Everybody type happy birthday in the comments for Brandon.
Thank you. Anything else before we wrap up?
No.
All right. Now we
go
thank
Yankees. Go Marlins.
Let's go Mets, and let's hope the Grimace luck could keep going for the Mets.
Go Marlins.
I could go for some McDonald's. Usually when I'm more active in the gym, like I'm kind of more lenient with my diet, like more strict in my diet. But I mean, I've been eating pretty good. I know this is not the food, not a nutritionist, but I've been more when I work out. I've been more, a little bit more strict when I'm eating, what I'm having. But more moderate. I'm not saying I eat, like don't eat sugar. Like sugar's in everything, no matter what. I feel like. But then again, like
strawberries.
Like I said. But either way, could go for some McDonald's. Maybe I'll see Grimace.
Maybe.
But
Grimace shake.
Yeah, I never tried that. But if I tried, I should bring it on the show.
You should. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. That would be a fun skit.
Maybe you get a Grimace shake. I get a Grimace shake. It gives me an excuse to have a shake.
With cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
We'll test it out for
cheers.
The
kind of go like this on the camera.
You do a cheers for the audience, yeah. But are you ready? So
clink. Yeah.
But all right, we thank you for joining us in another edition of Battin, Chattin for my co-host Denis Tuohy and the entire Blackjack Media Group team. I'm Brandon Natale saying so long, and we'll see you next time.